It's Friday on Jasiri. That means,
Catherine, if you know what, before you go do you know, as they put us say that we should go, I just remember one song, it's time to say hello. Oh God, you're so bougie.
oh my God.
Sorry,
Lord.
Catherine.
No, it's okay. It's Hot Topic Special. It's a Friday, and on Jasiri, this is what we do. The most important thing is to be realistic with you guys. We've got the stories that caught our attention, the one everyone is talking about, the headlines, sparking debate, and so much more. Today is a day for no long lectures. So I'm just going to say, sit tight, stay with us. Call your families, call your frenemies, call your neighbors even. And don't forget to join the conversation using the WhatsApp number on the screen, because on a Hot Topics Friday right here on Jasiri, the heat is officially turned up. No safe takes, just bold conversations, very relatable hostesses, and real opinions. Let's roll it.
I have to smile because some things are happening behind the scenes. But anyway, while this first story may not be our regular type of hot topic, it is definitely an interesting one, and you'll understand in just a moment why we picked it for Hot Topics. Ladies, how do you feel about snakes?
Don't go there, please.
I like snakes, actually.
How do you like them? I don't.
No, but you know, it's weird for me. I don't like reptiles like lizards, but I can totally be cool with snakes.
Do you remember how she ran off the set when we had the scorpions?
I don't care the color of snake. Green, red, yellow, orange. I don't give it.
You only like it when it's in a bag or a shoe.
I don't do that. Huh?
You only like it when it's bag or shoe.
Do you remember when they used to give us, they used to scare us with these rubber snakes?
Yes.
I've jumped and
I think that day I became an Olympic jumper.
It's amazing what adrenaline can make you do.
Adrenaline and fear. The fear fuels the adrenaline because you're afraid. So the reason I asked this question, thankfully I conquered my fear last year. If you didn't know, I had a snake all wrapped around me, wrapped on my arm. It was...
She surprised us.
I surprised myself, you know, and it was just moving and it's all right. But let me tell you why. I'm not the one who's going to tell you why. It's Lolo's that's going to tell you why.
No.
Okay.
Snakes.
No, it's all right. Imagine a community where snakes and humans live side by side. Well, you don't have to imagine it, because News Central's Umaru Kirawa visited a community in Yobe State where snakes are not hunted or chased away. They are believed to be blood relatives, bound to the people by an ancient legend of royal twins, one human and the other a snake. Okay. From family homes to public spaces, the reptiles move freely, even appearing in the palace of the emir of Manchina to pay homage. Killing a snake in Manchina is a taboo, yet reports of snake bites remain very rare, challenging everything that we think and know about coexistence and fear. Located near Nigeria's border with Niger Republic, this centuries-old tradition continues to shape daily life, raising questions about culture, belief, and harmony with nature. Anyway, strap in. Let's travel to Manchina, where humans and snakes live side by side as kids. Catherine.
Night hours in historically rich and naturally fortified Machina, with landscapes that have stood unchanged for hundreds of years. The ancient town, Mazuna or Maizuna, Machina has the palace of the emir, sharing boundary with this rocky and hilly scenery.
Kafin a zo Elkanami dynasty. To karkashin Sefa dynasty birnin Gazargamu akwai wani sarki yana rike da sarautan gurin. To lokaci yana tafiya bai samu ɗa namiji ba, sai ‘ya'yansa duka mata ne, kuma ya san mace ba za ta yi sarauta ba a wancan lokaci ma. Sai ya tara malamansa da masu duba a wancan lokaci, ya ce a duba masa ina ne zai samu yaro matar da zai aura wanda za ta haifa masa yaro namiji. Sai suka duba suka ce masa nan yamma akwai wata mata a cikin dutse, in an same ta an kawo ta, lalle wannan mata za ta haifa masa yaro namiji.
In this rocky house, known as Balo Kandira's habitat, the then traditional leader, otherwise referred to as Sarkin Gazargamu, met a woman, got married to her, and later gave birth to 2 children, known as Aliyu Suron Balowa and Aliyu Ngawon Balowa.
Akwai sarkin da aka haife shi 'yan biyu mutum da maciji. Wannan dan uwansa mutum ana shayar da shi kuma macijin akwai inda aka ajiye gurbi ana zuba masa danyen nono, ana zuba masa madara, yana zuwa ya sha ya tafi. Haka shi ma ya girma yake hayayyafa irin jinsinsa, shi ma mutum yake hayayyafa yake irin jinsinsa.
It was common to see snakes moving freely within compounds, markets and farms without causing panic, as the 77th Emir of Machina, Bashir Albishir Bukar Machinama, welcomes the snakes for homage.
Kamar yanzu a cikin gidan kankatar da yi, kuma akwai yara sai ka ce mai da Allah ka ya uri gida akwai yara ka ya uri, za ga hi da kan ya zo ya fita.
Ancestors of Machina consider it a taboo to harm or kill a snake in the community.
Su ba irin sauran macije ba ne, mugayen macije, su ba ruwansu da mutum. Na fi shekara 30 a garin nan, don a garin nan na girma duk da ba ana aka haife ni ba.
A camera lens does not usually capture the snakes unless it is during festivities or occasional appearances in houses in Machina.
See, I've seen the snake there. It's now sleeping. I mean, I'm scared. Though they said it won't do anything, but this is the situation here at Machina.
So this has clearly demonstrated the cultural relationship between snakes and the good people of Machina. It's a source of attraction that government needs to invest heavily with a lot of infrastructural development.
This used to be the location where the biggest snake in Machina used to stay, and the area used to be a waterlogged area whereby water used to lodge here. Unfortunately, due to climatic change, things have changed over the years. From Machina, in Machina local government area of Yobe State for New Central, Umaru Kirawa.
It's a snack.
It's a snack.
Would say.
I had goose peoples all over me. But do you know, these are stories. I don't know why culturally we're losing it. You know, there are we have so much history in Africa.
About snakes?
About anything.
Okay.
In India, some tribes, they don't eat cow. They actually worship it. And they have their reasons for it. Who knows? Maybe some scientific explanation might be possible with this. Maybe there's the soil of the place only allows non-poisonous snakes to exist in that space.
So is it
It's
that
possible. Just like that town somewhere they said they have twins a lot.
Yes,
They believe that the water
Oyo State.
and maybe the yam they eat. You know, but because we fear everything in Africa, instead of us to research and find out, it might not even be anything.
I the fact that Kevin say you want to research whether some people are related to snacks.
Oh, Tolu, God will bless you. Flesh and blood.
It was the look on her face.
I don't know what none of you like. I don't know who you are convincing.
So many hands.
No, I don't know what
Shiva.
man. I don't know
So
who
what
you're
are you
convincing. Because for me, if you want to eradicate those snakes, eradicate them. Fumigate them, you know what
Snakes
fumigate
serve
them.
a purpose.
That's why if it's man,
Yes,
I think
just like you like part of the greater circle of life.
Yes, like cockroaches
I'm sure that town does not have rodent issues.
and mosquitoes and rats. And all these annoying animals and insects that for us have no economic importance. But the good Lord knows why they are situated in the presence of men.
But do you know that it's
women.
not all,
Nothing
even
you
if
go tell
try
me about snake.
research-wise, you see that it's not all snakes that are actually poisonous.
No, it's not.
See, and sometimes,
But what they'll tell you is that the humans will not distinguish. They will not wait to ask the snake, are
it
you
is
poisonous
us
or
in
not?
Africa, Tolu, we are too fearful in Africa.
No, I think we have a
if
way
you
of
wake up and there's a snake in your room,
demonizing everything.
What will you do? You will romance it. Welcome
It's
to my
not
room.
like romance. It's not common. It's not
Okay.
something that you should have. And because I'm not trained, I might not be able to engage the snake because I don't know if it's a poisonous snake or something. Look at the way climate has changed. There are so many fumes, perfumes, smells that actually attract things to your house or to the area that humans live.
No, let it not come.
We just have to be
close.
open-minded to
I am
learn.
open-minded enough.
What
No, you can face me because you're talking to me.
what we're open-minded to is these kind of stories.
Yes.
Because it's just different on waking up and hearing that there's a community somewhere here in Nigeria that believes that man and snake are somehow related. And we all have these things. We all have these either local legends or myths from our hometowns. Because I always think to myself, you know, when you think about the legend of the Mami Water, some people try to explain it as the manatee. We used to have large populations of manatees off the coast of Nigeria, off the West African coast, and manatees in water. They look like they can look like humans. They can
very
swim
curvy woman.
Yes, they can swim through. That's the word some people say. That's where the legend of the siren came from.
Because they said a lot of sailors. Sailors drink a lot.
Yes.
So they are bound because it's cold.
Hallucinations.
So hallucinations are bound. Looking at the ocean, you can actually visualize it. We're creators in our minds, and there are so many. And whether we like it or not, Tolu, whether we like it or not, there are some things that can never be explained.
Yes, my uncle was
so we better just take it or forget about it.
He used to come with such stories, and we're all young then, and we used to look enamored and in awe of him telling us these kinds of things, and later would ask him, did these things really happen? You see, thinking back at it, he said, yes, that they happened, but in our small minds then, we couldn't conceive the thought of these kinds of things. Strange creatures that you would see at odd hours of time at sea and all of that. So, yeah, man.
Sorry, baby. Today is not your day about snakes. Today is not your day. But a lot of legends, Tolu. Sorry, before we move on. Scandinavian legends, we seem to like it because it comes from foreign legends. Do you remember the legend of Bigfoot?
Yeah.
It's originated about in Ireland. Ireland is believed to be like a magical place where leprechauns
and the fairies
exist. So in Africa, why is it that when they will now want to talk about our own myths or our own legends, you now start to fear?
Do you know what I think? It always reminds me of when you think about how Viking culture, Thor has been sold and packaged. Hello, do we not have Thor? Is it not Shango? But there's a diminution. So I watched, I don't want to, I spoke about it on my timeline, but I watched a recent series on Netflix. It's Lara Croft. They did the animated version. This season was about the Orisha.
The African
and the
legends.
Connection from West Africa to Brazil. And they went through the Orisha, the twins, the Orisha of the twins, the Orisha, they had Eshu. I was sitting, I watched the recording, she was asking me so many questions. And we're now Googling, and I was teaching her about the Orisha, teaching her about Orumi. Oh my God, Orumila. When Eshu went to Orumila to meet him, a lot of people, Eshu to us is the devil because of Christianity. But Eshu was actually a minor god. He was an Orisha. He had his place. Yes, he was duplicitous, but he had his place.
Like Thor's brother,
Loki. I would say you can see some similarities in people's mythology, but I think we still demonize. African history is fascinating. And our beliefs as well are equally as fascinating. Yes, we can believe what we believe in the modern times, but I think we should have some space for what our ancestors believe.
I've been tagging us on some people that I've seen that are traditionalists in that our group. We need to have one of them because people are under this illusion that we have only two religions. No! There are many people that believe many other things, but because we don't understand it, we just think, they are worshiping idols or worshiping demons. But to them, they can consider our Christian God demon. They can consider the Muslim God demon because they are not exposed to it. They don't know anything about it. So sometimes I think as Africans, we need to be a little more open-minded to know that the world is not small. It's large.
And that we were people with beliefs, with values, with ideas and traditions and religion before some people landed on this shore.
All right. I know for a lot of you that follow us as Jasiri, we told you this year, we are not going to leave any stone unturned. We're going to just keep hitting our stories that are unusual. So that when you come here, you say, I don't know what the ladies of Jasiri are going to be up to today. I don't want to miss it. So we're just getting warmed up on our Hot Topics Friday. When we come back, we're going on a break now. We're going to get into this Davido's alleged baby mama drama. And NAFDA's push to rid Nigeria of sachet alcohol. see my hands up in the air. And we would also look at Anthony Joshua's family, what they have to say about the trial of the driver involved in the fatal crash that killed 2 people. But you have to wait until we come back.
Paternity drama involving Davido, a teenage girl known as Anu Adeleke, and her mother has taken a different dimension as Davido's father, Dr. Deji Adeleke, has now spoken publicly on the matter. This issue isn't entirely new, but it has once again taken over social media after the young girl at the center of it made a post on social media calling on Davido to do a paternity test as she believes he is her father, a claim he has consistently denied. According to Anu and her mother, the teenager has lived for years with questions around her identity, saying she has faced bullying and emotional distress because of the unresolved paternity issue. They are now demanding a new paternity test, a new DNA test, insisting it's the only way to put the matter to rest. But Davido's camp tells a very different story.
In a rare and emotional press conference, Davido's father, Dr. Deji Adeleke, addressed the issue head-on, stating that multiple DNA tests, as many as 5, have already been conducted over the years and all reportedly confirmed that Davido is not Anu's biological father. He said the family has remained silent for years out of respect and privacy, but decided to speak now because the matter keeps resurfacing online, especially through what he described as misinformation and impersonation. Dr. Adeleke also accused controversial journalist Kemi Olunloyo of being heavily involved in amplifying the story, alleging that she impersonated Anu online and escalated the issue beyond what it should have been. He described the situation as out of hand and reveals that the family is now considering legal action for defamation and impersonation. Let's watch video.
Okay, and before then, through this Kemi and some other people in the social media, they also alleged that maybe it's not David, maybe it's my nephew called B-Red. Because B-Red's name is Adebayo, but his middle name also is David. It's Adebayo, David Adeleke. So when the auntie of the little girl called, I said, look, this is what we are going to do. You go and pick your own clinic of your choice. Come to Lagos. I'll make sure David is available. Bring the little girl. We'll go to your own clinic and do it. I said, but before we do that, I'm going to arrange for another clinic in Lekki, apart from the Vedic one we went before, so that David and that little girl will do 2 more tests. And then I'll arrange 2 clinics for my nephew, Bayo, to do 2 tests. I said, so the day you are going to come, we are going to have 4 different tests. So that was why people, you must have heard that we've done about 5 DNA tests. Actually, 3 was done by David, 2 by Bayo. Somebody has done a paternity test and several and says he's not the child, he's not the father of the child. Okay, if I can be paying the girl's school fees, sending her money, knowing that fully that she's not my grandchild, without telling anybody, if I can ask the mom to come to my school and go to school free of charge, and still pay her 50,000 every month for her upkeep, I would have been so glad if this girl was my granddaughter, so I can spoil her silly like the other ones. I call them my roommates. They come here every weekend. You see my swimming pool, you can see the level for kids, not for adults. So I don't know. So I don't care what she says. She's we are going to consider suing her.
Now, anyway, in response, Anu's mother has pushed back strongly, denying claims of impersonation and questioning the credibility and transparency of the DNA test previously conducted. She's demanding a fresh independent DNA test monitored by neutral parties, insisting that the truth has still not been properly established. Meanwhile, Davido himself has publicly backed his father, thanking him for speaking out and maintaining that the matter was settled long ago. The other party in the matter, Kemi Olunloyo, shortly after the briefing, denied ever impersonating the girl or running accounts linked to the case. She insisted that the involvement has been based on information allegedly shared by Anu's mother. Ayo Olunloyo further alleged that Ayo told her Davido used B-Red's phone to communicate with her before their encounter, a detail she claimed her investigation had supported. The journalist maintained that she had not fabricated any information or accused the Adeleke family of attempting to silence her. Olunloyo also claimed that she opened Anu's Instagram account and later handed over the password to her mother before leaving Nigeria. She said that Ayo told her she slept with Davido and not with 3 people at the same time. She added that Ayo claimed she was chatting directly with the singer and not someone else. Olunloyo says she wants Anu to live a good life and open an account for her where she has been saving money. This is a lot anyway, and I know that Nigerians are ready. Anything juicy like this, you can be very sure that reactions will be very, very rife. So let's take some of the reactions before we talk about it on the table.
It made David's dad speak out, a man that is mostly low-key. I really hope he sues them and stop that charity he's been doing. This is why Jay-Z never took that paternity test. It will never satisfy the accuser. After doing all these and for more than a decade and counting, how about now? Either Kemi or Anu's mom, somebody needs to be held accountable ASAP. One of the biggest issues I have with Nigerians, young and old, is that they lack boundaries and they don't enforce boundaries. Why are you paying for a child's school fees after they conspired against your son collectively? I don't care if they're underprivileged, it's not right. So my question is, if he has done all this, why is Anu's mom not speaking out against the cheap blackmail that Madam Kemi has been doing every January in the last 3 years or so? It's really unfair that Anu's mom could not even make a video to debunk that rumor, or is she saying she's not seeing what's happening on the internet? She's protecting her reputation while dragging the name of her beneficiaries to the mud. Unrelated, but there's no way you're doing that for a child you claim is not yours. You're just refusing to accept the girl based on the circumstances surrounding her birth.
I think Tolu, this is a lot actually, like you said. It is a lot. And for me, there's some things that are better left. Guys, it's messy. How you guys thrive on these things on social media, I have no idea. The fact that I don't know why people say, oh, it's unrelated, but if your hands are clean, or if your hands are, why are you paying school fees of a child that doesn't? There's so many ways people do charity. Yes. I'm one of those. I can pay people's fees randomly.
And apparently it does scholarship.
It does scholarship.
Davido did not know.
Yes. Do you get? So there's some things that you do in the sun just because you're led to. Yeah. No, there's some things you do because you're led to. Totally the same thing. If you're led to do something, if something it lies heavy on your spirit, you will do it. So I don't think it has anything to do with the allegations on ground that either David or his cousin David, is the father of Anu. But I think extensively this matter should be given a rest in my opinion.
Honestly, I need to be, we're just being docile. Young ladies need to be called to order. Because if you are saying that somebody is the father of your child, and they have done DNA tests so many times, and it says 0. You know, there are some DNA tests that will still give a window, like maybe a family member. But if it is 0.0, that means this girl that is the mother of this child, there's something that we need to speak about. Why are you doing this? God are the days that they will say, oh, Obinilo Mamo, Baba Moe. If you slept with somebody today, slept with another tomorrow, slept with another the day after, Catherine, there is no way you can know who the father of the child is.
No, there's no way.
If you got pregnant within that,
or want the father of the child,
yes, you might wish or want, but you will never be able to say Which of these three people?
But even on that note, David's father said David told him when they went to do, I think, the first paternity test, that I've never seen this woman before. Even when the daughters, if we can get the daughters' post that reignited this conversation again, even when that post came out and Davido finally responded, you could see a lot of anger and frustration in the response. And he was basically saying he's
never met. Is that the mother?
I think, because even now, this is the video picture I've been seeing, but there's another picture that shows Davido when he was quite younger with another woman who doesn't necessarily look like this one. So there was a bit
somebody
of confusion.
Was telling me that there was a picture that's of them in bed.
Yeah, so that's the picture I've also seen. Not in bed, but they were together. So somebody said that one doesn't look like this one. But anyway, that was the picture of the young girl's mother. And so
is this the young girl or the mother?
This is the young girl. So David's father said that his son told him he's never met her before. And the father says he's done 5 DNA tests. He even talked about the fact that her mother, there was a time that he had to pay for her mother, the girl's grandmother, to stay in Lagos for a week so that they could do another DNA test. That the mother was crying, then the grandmother was crying when the results. See, at the end of when I saw Dr. Adeleke, when I saw the video and I was like, who is this? And they said it's Dr. Adeleke. I said, what? Yeah? He's calling press conference. You basically
said the ring light.
To now,
they even said there was a birth certificate that the girl put her name as Kiniko Adeleke and her child's name.
Let's go back to that response. That was the response that David put. That David had. He was emotional. I don't know if he was emotional. He never met the brief, except when went for the DNA. Very something behavior. I will soon treat their 5 hospitals, just to be clear. The mom needs to go to jail. I don't blame the poor girl. And children will look for identity. They want to know who they came from, who they belong to.
You guys don't know my father.
They're doing to this child.
He's even the one that forced me to go. Adeleke, we don't play about blood on this side.
And I agree, because the man said he has 14 grandchildren. Yes. What is one more ever do? What is one more grandchild going to do with him? That he doesn't mind. He's ready. He talks about the fact that they come and spend weekends. It's obviously a family that is okay with the children. And that are happy to take care of their children.
We'll look at precedents. There is no child Davido has fathered, honestly, that he has not owned. So if this child is really his, and it's not like the child is earning somewhat, he's a lovely looking child. Yeah, but look at this girl's face. He's pasted all over social media. It's going to affect her in school.
No, it has already affected her in school because she claims Anu Adeleke. So people, apparently students and whatever, have been making fun of her, claiming that, you're claiming to be an Adeleke. They don't claim you that you're
surprised that she's willing to pay, or her mother is willing to pay to trend. Because sometimes people pay all sorts of prices to trend. They don't mind what you need to do to trend. And maybe this is it. You made mention when you started talking on this issue. You said we are not even loud enough. We are not speaking loudly enough into the ears of young girls.
Yes.
Why do you feel it's a thing now to open your mouth and say, I'm pregnant for this person? That means that protection is out the window.
Out of the window.
Everything is, abstinence is out the window. It has just become
a free for all. Anybody. When I saw this story in the middle of the night, I think day before yesterday, even before we brought it up on the platform, and I'm like, is it that we can no longer speak to our girl children? That there are some things that is not for fashion. So you cannot just go about having unprotected sex anyhow, and now you are now left in confusion of who might be the father of your child.
She said she's not confused. And let's not forget that there's a third party to this as well, which is Kemi Olunloyo. Yeah. And so there have been claims that Kemi Olunloyo too has made about being Davido's mother's best friend, being the one that took her to the hospital. The father has said, well, I don't know you. That Davido's mother only had 3 best friends, that they still come to events, even if they do the events in Nigeria outside, that they're still part of the family. I never knew. So she spoke about opening an account for Anu. Why are you the one opening a social media account for Anu? Why are you the one opening a savings account for Anu? Let's take a break. We're not done on this. Let's take a break. Why are you the one?
child.
Lolo's on a tear on this.
No,
Let's take a comment that has come in on WhatsApp. And Ayo says, I personally won't accept David saying he's never met the lady before. How possible is that? David is a big name, and it's always amazing the kind of sexual orientations and controversies that trail some top celebrities. Since the Adeleke family has a DNA that works for them, they should go to court. However, David should simply zip up. Ayo from Oluyole, Ibadan. And it's not, but we should also, even though there is precedent for many people to believe that Davido may not be telling the truth, we should also let's remember people also latch on to situations like that. In this situation, we don't know. The only thing I've been thinking is I would ask Dr. Adeleke that there be one final DNA test conducted by Lagos State.
Yeah, maybe.
Neutral ground for all parties.
Yes, I don't think.
I don't think they owe her that.
No,
I
don't think
it's just
I don't agree necessarily, guys. These people have done 5 DNA. Qu'est-ce qui se passe avec cette DNA ça? Why do we have to 5 DNA?
But she's countering the DNA. She's saying that it was controversial.
She will still counter the DNA.
This one you do it to the full glare. Even if you choose 2 media stations.
Listen, they are not as together as we see them. There are so many people walking around with all sorts of people are imagining things. Do you get? So how do you deal with this? Is borderline, okay, maybe stalkers. We've talked on this table. How do we deal with stalkers? How do we deal with obsessive behaviors? If people are obsessed with you, how do you deal? Maybe this is one of this. Let's be realistic. You've done 5. You've chosen the hospital. The family has chosen the hospital.
And
they've done DNA on 2 members of the family whose names are David. It's 5, for God's sakes. What else are you looking for?
I'm thinking about the child. Catherine, in all this young girl is about 14, I hear. She will have friends in school. They will taunt her. I will not check. Are the parents of this girl not considering her mental health?
It's okay.
Do you know how isolated this girl might feel?
So also, apparently, Dr. Adeleke was giving her, the aunt of the girl, the Ayo's sister, 250K monthly that was meant to go to her. Guess what? She was getting 100,000. So there's apparently even people who have attempted to feed off this situation. Again, I would say, I know it might be far out of there. People may not agree. I think maybe one final DNA test done by Lagos State, because Lagos State seems to have the best here, or you go to South Africa. Why am I going to fly you to South Africa?
What final DNA test
to be done in the full glare. After that is zip it. And for Dr. Kemi Olunloyo, I think we should stop thinking about suing. Because there have been 2 cases this week that annoyed me. One, it was Tonto DK's one has not annoyed me. Somebody's impersonating Tonto DK online, and that person is scamming people. And Tonto has said, when they catch you, we're going to go the full weight. But it was Mercy Johnson that lets the blogger go. I'm sorry, I think we should stop letting them go. I do not agree with criminal.
No, she
I do not
explained
agree
it.
with criminal.
You know, we have
libel
that
and
side of
police
us
involved.
that she explained it, that family
She's
people
going to
that,
do it to the next
people
one.
that she respects. You understand? People, you know, there are always people who prey on you. People she respects and who her family, who her husband respects.
So we keep letting them get away. The next one will do it because somebody else will come to beg the person she did that for.
So now, probably in letting her go, they're setting a trap for her, because if she goes ahead and does it for the next person,
she has apologized.
Okay, you've apologized. It's on record. You've apologized, Abi. You're going to do it to the next person. Let's see whether, because that's a setting trap for me that I say. So let's see what the next person. The next person will not be that forgiving.
Captain, it's because they are high-profile people.
Yes,
there are many people who this kind of terrible thing has ruined their lives.
True.
There's a couple on X that is currently dealing with this.
It's ruined their lives completely.
You come out and say that somebody's wife
married someone.
No, that's even nice. You come out and then say that somebody's wife, that, is it not you that we know how you were sleeping with people when you were in university. What is your business?
What is that?
What is your problem? Even if she slept with you, why?
Because now we're in a season of, if you allege, you must prove.
Okay. Yes, that's the way. That is the position of the law.
I want Dr. Adeleke to go through with it.
I know. Tolu doesn't. You see, Tolu is passionate about this because Tolu is very big on this reputation tarnishing.
Yeah.
Don't try it. Don't spill water. Don't pour your reggae. Don't use your reggae to spoil my blues. Don't rain on my parade. If you want to be dirty on your part.
And then come remove your dirt. Let me take one final comment that has come in on WhatsApp, and then we'll move on. Adebare Awodoye said 2 things are to be sorted out here. 1, Kemi Olunloyo should be sued and do jail once again. This is how she messed with Pastor David Ibiyomi, and she was jailed for it. 2, does it mean the mother of the girl slept with the 2 David of Adeleke, and she can tell who's actually the father? I'm confused here. Ladies,
That's just our young girls. They're John now.
Yeah.
There are cuter ways to do these things. It's become something
But
that really...
you're even talking about a situation that supposedly happened that might have happened 14 years ago.
Imagine
Do you know
the
how much
decadence
worse
of
it is now?
Young
In
ladies.
fact, do you
I'm
get-
not even saying they should
Sometimes
not.
not the young ladies, Lolo. Sometimes it's the mothers
you listened
who are
to them
instituting these
talk?
things. It's the mothers who are instigating. It's the mothers who
I
are putting
talk to my
pressure.
daughter every day.
Aye,
We
that's
talk
you.
about
That's-
school, we
that's-
talk about boys, we talk about sex
My
itself.
dear, that's-
And I tell her what the implications of having sex is. That sex is not just something you have, it's a responsibility that comes on you. And most of the time, it is a woman that bears the brunt of it. I said, if you get pregnant, the boy, his life is contained there. His life continues. You're the one that has last born for your mother.
So
Last born for your mother.
Yeah, because if you have an undergraduate, if you have an undergraduate that gave birth to, is it not you that has the baby?
And
you
mothers
need
should
them to finish
learn
school.
to speak it as is. Call the body parts what they are. Stop using coy and nice names. Call them the biological terms for what they are called. And then you have to be comfortable with your child, because if you're not comfortable, your child knows. My mom used to be very uncomfortable when she was talking this, and I would say, why is she? I would just wish that she could be over and done with it.
Do you know what they're saying on their WhatsApp groups? They're talking about BJs. They're having competitions. They're finding out
who can give.
It's a whole different conversation.
And as a country, for many of us, because we're so conservative and we're so religious, so many parents have their heads in the sand when it comes to their children and sexuality.
And I can
You
put it
don't
to
know
you.
what your children know. And what
You
you've
don't
done.
know what your children do.
You remember when my daughter was 13 and I caught a WhatsApp group in their school that ordinary children thought it was their mates. It was infiltrated by men. Asking young children, then she was 13, my daughter is almost 21, asking them to take pictures of themselves semi-nude. They will not say, oh, you don't look 13, you don't look 12, you look so big and mature. Can I know your house number?
They would have knocked on your door, Lolo.
No, they could,
If it was not Jehovah God Almighty,
they couldn't
that
have.
I caught it in the middle and I'm like, do you know what this means? The poor girl had no idea.
There's some websites.
What I was saying.
There's some websites. I don't even. Yeah, we're gonna. There's some websites I don't even. I don't even try, because those websites are really suspect. And like Tolu says, a lot of parents, we have our heads in the sand. It's time to face reality, because you don't know your child's sexuality and proclivities. If you think, oh, you're concerned about going through the front door, there's the back door. And they're looking at that as an option. So you must have.
I went to university with someone that every time they went home, they had their parents took them for virginity tests.
Yeah.
Do you know how many girls are still virgins
in their parents' eyes?
In their parents' eyes, and I'm going to say at the front door.
Yes.
Yes, and at the back door,
but at the back end.
There's a party there at the back door. Oh yeah.
Tolu, this
We need to
generation.
go on a break. We're supposed to take
Let's
another
go on
story.
a break. Let's quickly go on a break.
Okay.
We'll come back for the last story.
Yeah, man.
Ele, wound me.
Our girls.
Okay, we have to move on.
Yes.
We have to move on, okay? To an update on the tragic road accident involving Nigerian-born British boxing champion Anthony Joshua, an incident that claimed the lives of two of his close friends. The driver at the center of the case, Adeniyi Mobolaji Kayode, appeared on Tuesday before a magistrate court in Shagamu, Ogun State, where he was charged with reckless and dangerous driving, as well as driving without a valid license. Kayode, who has reportedly been Anthony's personal driver for about 3 years, appeared visibly downcast in court, dressed in black trousers and a hoodie, avoided the media as well. The hearing itself was brief, as the prosecution requested more time to obtain legal advice from the Ogun State Attorney General's office.
Now, the magistrate granted the request and adjourned the case to February 25th, 2026, with Kayode being granted bail. His lawyer, Olaleke Abiodun, told journalists that the adjournment was agreed to, quote, in the interest of justice, end quote. Here's what Abiodun had to say.
It's hearing for today, and their witnesses are in court. Nothing stops the court from going on. However, in the interest of justice, based on the application of the prosecution, the matter was adjourned. So we have nothing to say about that than to wait for the adjournment dates to see what the prosecution have for us or have for the court.
But you reacted. Why?
It's normal for me to react because adjournment cannot be made on a platter of gold. And it cannot be made by the way. You must have a reasonable ground for seeking for that adjournment.
What's that? So what we have now, is there reasonable ground now?
Yes, in the interest of justice. Is the reasonable ground.
What's that ground?
In the interest of justice is the ground.
Let's talk about the bail, sir.
Yes.
What's the update on the bail condition?
The bail still remain. The bail still remain. Nothing affected the bail.
So it won't be remanded again now?
I won't say anything about it. That is for the court.
Has he met the bail condition?
Definitely. He has met the bail condition, in as much the court had stated the bail condition, and we have met it.
Now, however, beyond the courtroom, the case has taken a deeply emotional dimension. Anthony Joshua's uncle, Adedamola Joshua, questioned whether continuing with the trial was truly necessary, describing the crash as a tragic accident and stating that there had never been complaints about the driver's conduct in the years he had worked with his nephew. He also acknowledged the public pressure surrounding the case, even as the family expressed gratitude that Anthony Joshua survived the crash.
We sense the opinion of the people of the town that this man must be prosecuted, that he was over speeding, that if it had not been a high speed, he could have been able to control the car better. This is the opinion of the public, that he should be prosecuted. For us, we are very, very lucky that our son didn't die. But taking this man to court is something we don't really see any reason for. Because he has been with him for 3 years, as we know. He has been driving him, and he's been plying the road. So, accident can happen anytime.
Yeah. Anyway, the accident occurred on December the 29th, 2025 along the Lagos-Ibadan Expressway, where a Lexus SUV conveying Anthony Joshua and his team crashed into a stationary truck. According to the Ogun State Traffic Compliance and Enforcement Agency TRACE, preliminary investigation showed the vehicle was traveling at an excessive speed and suffered a tire burst before the collision. Sadly, Lateef Ayodele, Joshua's personal trainer, and Shinogami, his longtime strength and conditioning coach, died instantly at the scene. Anthony Joshua and the driver sustained minor injuries and were treated and discharged shortly after. Anyway.
I think we have reactions. I'm not sure. Let's see if we have reactions. Same thing I said. No need punishing the man. It's not like he wished that accident happened. It was just an unfortunate incident. Jailing him won't bring back the dead. May their soul rest in peace.
Honestly.
Thank you. But nevertheless, his license should be seized pending the time he is retrained. They even said his license had expired, I think. Accidents can happen anytime, even when you're careful with your driving. Someone who is not can collide with you. So I think it's better they just let it be and free him. He must face the full might of the law. Jail him. I have been expecting this for long. That's the honorable thing to do. Whether the guy is guilty or not, incarcerating him cannot bring back the dead. Is Anthony Joshua's family saying this because it didn't affect their son?
I don't think so.
Well, two people died.
So.
2 families are mourning. We covered that extensively with our senior international correspondent, Afia Hagen, who was at the funerals of Anthony Joshua's friends. And you know, I had said this. I had even questioned if there was any involvement. Had they helped him with a lawyer? I had questioned what the family was doing because this case is difficult.
It is.
And we are sad. Yeah. We are beyond sad that people lost their lives. You know, I talked about that road. It's one of the reasons I don't go home as much as I should. And because once they have done the road, the speed that people take on the road is the same speed people are still taking right now as we're talking. Or past that same spot, past that same stretch of road.
Yeah.
Does jailing him for all the charges that the Ogun State has put against him, does it change anything? Is this where we should be asking for leniency in the law?
I don't think, in an attempt to answer the last, I think, reaction that we had, I don't think it has anything to do with that. Because when you say, is it because their son is still alive? I really don't think, as hard as it is to believe, there's some people that would, even when they lose their own, like Tolu said, when her sisters, when she lost, you know, she was pushing that they should sue the hospital, but she said, her father said, or her parents said, there was no need. There are people who don't want all that drama. So it may not necessarily be true. It may shock you that if God forbid, it was Anthony that lost his life in that accident, his family probably would say, you know what, we don't, personally, I felt the type of way when this happened and he was taken to court. And I was like, this guy, according to what, you know, it didn't seem like he'd had issues with them in the past, or they'd had issues with him about his driving. It's just unfortunate that, you know, it happened at the wrong time, wrong place, wrong everything.
Do you feel like, because remember, there is a feeling that by some people that he's getting scapegoated because that this is such a high-profile case. Let's not forget that the person who parked the lorry ran away. The driver of the lorry truck. We don't even have an identity for him.
I feel that it, you know, is
somebody shot has to be.
Yes, so that let's look as if we are doing something. Okay, we held somebody responsible.
It's not like they don't have.
You don't need to hold anybody responsible. You need to fix the roads. You need to fix. You understand the laws. There are people, officers of the you know, road safety officers who that's their work. Stop asking people how far now, how today go be, and focus on what you need to focus on.
If it's about their right standing, they have every right to bring him to court if they want to, because they have enough to
I just feel he's
charge him on, even if he's
let's be honest.
It's a very delicate issue, honestly. It is, and I like the stance of Anthony Joshua's family, because it's such a huge loss. I'm sure Anthony is still in mourning. The wives of the two gentlemen who died in the accident are still in mourning. And watching this driver, they said it's not new to them. So it's not like, oh, it's somebody has been using consistently. So if he was such a bad driver, so
would he have lasted 3 years?
Yeah, 3 years with him.
And I think it's bad enough because Joshua, you never know what load he has to carry emotionally on that without probably feeling a sense of, maybe if they didn't come with me, maybe I could have done. And you just feel guilty that their families are suffering.
Remember, one of them was his first trip to Nigeria. And the other thing we heard is that at a point, because of Joshua's build, he was the one sitting in front. He had to go to the back. Because the driver couldn't apparently see, I think, with him in the front seat.
Mirror.
So it just felt like so many coincidences that just ended up stacking up. Before we wrap up, let's quickly take some final comments from WhatsApp. Kola says, Sahid Kolakwo from Abuja says, in my opinion, taking Anthony Joshua's driver to court feels unnecessary and unfair, especially considering that this is not the first time he has been driving him. A driver's past record and experience should matter when situations like this arise. I'm skipping because of time. What concerns me the most is that no serious attention was given to the trailer that was wrongly parked, which clearly contributed to the accident. Road safety is a shared responsibility, and focusing on only one party while ignoring another obvious fault raises questions about fairness and selective judgment. If investigations are truly about justice, then all parties involved should be questioned and held accountable where necessary. Court action should be about establishing the truth, not simply blaming the most visible person involved. Without properly addressing issues like poor road discipline, illegal parking, and weak enforcement of traffic laws, incidents like this will continue to happen. And I want to quickly take a comment from Daniel from the FCT. Abuja people are representing today. We see you. To solve this paternity issue is simple. Daniel from FCT, this is what you said. Tell the lady or mother to hook up with Davido again and do the same thing again ASAP. Daniel.
Okay, we need to go.
Daniel.
No.
How many times did I call you? I only have time to call you 2 times. How about now? Who's am I the one taking us out? Okay, we're taking us out. And on that note, we have to say goodbye because, as Shakespeare once put it, parting is such sweet sorrow. We'll see you guys on Monday. It just stuck to my head this morning. Sweet because the conversations are rich and good. Sorrow because we always wish we had just a little bit more time. But Monday, 10 a.m. West African time, make it a date, and we promise you some of the best conversation on TV anywhere on the continent. We'll see you then. Bye.